Lord Dannatt, do you think Israel are really listening to people like Joe Biden, President of the United States, who says, look, the real ground operation that we're seeing now, by January, that's got to end? Does Netanyahu take heed of that?
No.
Well, I'm sure they're listening because the Americans and others are talking very loudly at them. I mean, I think the point here, and we all agree, that Israel has the perfect right to carry out the operation that it is carrying out. There's something called just war theory, and there are two elements to that. Is it right to fight, and are you fighting right? No one doubts Israel's right to fight against Hamas, but the question is, are they fighting right? Are they doing it proportionately? And I think this is what they have got to really focus on. As far as I'm concerned, they've got to accept, despite the growing world opinion that they should have a ceasefire or further operational pauses, they should continue their operation, but they should continue on a more measured basis, accept that it may take longer. They've got to be more intelligence-led in the way that they conduct their ground attacks. They've got to be more focused when they use bombs and missiles from the air. And they've got to do absolutely everything to minimize innocent Gazan fatalities. That way, world opinion will be quietened and they can get on with the job that they've sworn to do, which is to destroy Hamas. And I think that is a perfectly reasonable objective, given that Hamas's sworn objective is to eradicate the state of Israel.
I mean,
that is wrong. That's against international law.
I'm so glad you said that, Lord Dannatt, because there cannot be anybody who cannot understand the heinous act of October the 7th. But it would be very unfair to imagine that people don't look at 20,000 people dying and think this has somehow got to stop. I'd just love very quickly for you to tell us. You talk about more strategic, more intelligence-based, bombing less, and would you do it differently? If you were in Netanyahu's ear, would you be fighting this war differently? Because we hear about wanting to eradicate Hamas, we hear about the tunnels, we hear about preparing for ground, work, but it seems to be dragging on and the casualties rise.
Well, it's a complex operation. Everyone accepts that. If I was the Israeli chief of staff, I'd be saying into the Prime Minister's ear, Prime Minister, you've got to prepare the world. This is going to take time. We have got to deal with Hamas. It will take time. We're going to slow down the pace of our operations, and we're only going to conduct strikes and attacks when we've got good intelligence that there is a target, which will include Hamas command and control, Hamas fighters, and be, as I said, more intelligence-led, be prepared to take longer, do everything possible to minimize Gazan casualties. Yes, it may be that the odd operational pause is the right thing to do to allow civilian casualties to be removed to hospitals, to get more fuel and food in. But be prepared to take longer to find Hamas fighters, to find their supply points, find their command and control points, and take them out in a methodical basis. It'll take time. There is a concept called strategic patience. I think the Israelis have got to employ that, and the world has got to understand that it's going to take time for them to achieve their legitimate objective of destroying Hamas in order to secure the future of the state of Israel, which is legally justified and is what the international community signed up to back in 1948.
Brilliantly put. Lord Dannatt, always a pleasure.